We are dealing with essentially out of control inflation, and we're dealing with huge economic crises and pending wars and so on. It doesn't matter. The government still wants to come down on crypto miners for environmental impact. House lawmakers send letters to 4 U.S. crypto miners asking for details on environmental impact. Core Scientific, Riot Blockchain, Marathon Digital, and Stronghold Digital received letters from members of the Committee on Energy and Commerce. 4 publicly traded crypto miners received letters from the U.S. House members of the Committee on Energy and Commerce looking to learn more about the impact of their mining operations on the environment. Core Scientific, Riot Blockchain, and Marathon Digital, 3 of the largest U.S. miners, as well as the smaller Stronghold Digital, received the letters that were signed by Committee Chair Frank Pallone, who was a Democrat from New Jersey, Bobby Rush, who is a Democrat from Illinois, Diana DeGette, I believe, who is a Democrat from Colorado, and Paul Tonko, who is a Democrat from New York. Quote, blockchain technology holds immense promise, and that may make our personal information more secure and economy more efficient, end quote, the letter said. However, the energy consumption and hardware required to support proof-of-work-based currencies may, in some instances, produce several externalities in the form of harmful emissions and excess electronic waste, or e-waste. You know what's waste? Is when you burn off flare gas to release pressure in the pipes and you don't have a way to actually utilize that. It's more harmful on the economy. If you are generating power and not utilizing it, you are wasting that power. That's waste. The letters come amid heightened scrutiny by lawmakers of the environmental impact of crypto mining. Most recently, in a letter sent to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the Department of Energy, 6 Democrats led by Representative Jared Huffman, who is the Democrat from California, and Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is a Democrat from Massachusetts, called the amount of energy used by miners disturbing and requested that the 2 groups required more reporting on emissions and energy consumption from the crypto mining industry. The latest letter acknowledges that some miners are mitigating their need of excess amounts of energy by investing in renewable sources of power. However, they argued that some of the largest crypto mining companies in the country are still primarily relying on the electrical grid for their power, which can increase peak demand and potentially incentivize new fossil fuel generations. But the thing is if you set the incentives properly, which they are already set properly at this point, and the incentives are aligned in general with renewable energy, miners are going to move to renewable energy. We're already seeing that happen. Or other forms of energy that are going to reduce waste of energy. This entire argument is extremely annoying. And yes, I am stating exactly the party affiliation and who these people are that are calling for these types of basically audits of, I suppose, the mining industry's power usage and power consumption. So you guys are aware of who they are, what party they are aligned with, and what goals they have in mind that may or may not align with your goals, and then you can make your voting decisions accordingly. All right, that's all. It is what it is. Ethereum decentralization at great risk as Amazon hosts 52% of all nodes at data centers. This is a report from Asari. Crypto analytics portal Messari released a study that showed that of 65% of Ethereum nodes located in centralized data centers, 2/3 of them come from 3 major data providers of web services. Thus, Hetzner, OVH, and Amazon Web Services account for 69% of all nodes located in data centers. Moreover, Amazon's combined share here is 53.7%. Crypto needs to decentralize. 3 major cloud providers are responsible for 69% of the 65% of Ethereum nodes hosted in data centers. Of the estimated 95% of Solana nodes hosted in data centers, 72% are hosted with the same cloud providers as Ethereum. According to the source, roughly 95% of all Solana nodes were hosted in data centers. And interestingly, 72% of them are also hosted by those three web service providers listed above. That said, Solana nodders seem to place more emphasis on Hetzner, which holds 42% of all centralized blockchain nodes. Amazon Web Services, on the other hand, holds less than 3% of Solana's nodes. The report raises the question of whether Amazon could somehow manipulate Ethereum, given the centralization of 1,487 of the 4,653 active nodes in its hands. More interesting would be to see if Jeff Bezos would be able to knock out most DeFi applications on Ethereum if he wanted to. And the thing is yes, they can. We've talked about this before. What do they do when somebody gets out of line and they don't agree with them? They shut them down. This has happened with Parler. This now is a threat to cryptocurrency thanks to the move to proof of stake from Ethereum. And, frankly, obviously you have the same problem on Solana, and Solana hasn't been handling that very well because we've gone down over 7 times with Solana this year already. And the idea that anybody is still invested in that company is just absolutely baffling to me. It is worth noting that it is an extremely good time to release such a breakdown when today Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum himself, launched a verbal attack on XRP. Vitalik said that the cryptocurrency has lost its right to protection without explaining who should protect it. However, if Ethereum itself has such a right to protection, then the crypto world probably should not worry about seemingly excessive concentration of nodes in the hands of one web service provider. I mean, we all knew this. We've been talking about this for years. It's so weird to see all of it come into fruition and places start to finally report on it when we've been screaming this from the rooftops for years, that this would be a problem, this would be a centralization issue, and that if you are basically centralized within one of the 3 main cloud services, that you put yourself in a position to be compromised with your from the perspective of being decentralized or centralized, right? And the thing is at the end of the day, if they just decide to go through a sweeping crypto ban across all data centers for Amazon and Microsoft and Google, all of these nodes will get shut down. And the concentration is only going to increase because the thing is people need their 24/7 basically support and uptime from essentially these cloud services to keep their nodes up all the time, because if they're maintaining them themselves, they risk, of course, downtime. And if you risk downtime with proof of stake, well, it's the same as mining, right? You lose money, and nobody really wants to lose money, especially when the margins on proof of stake are so low. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.